My biggest takeaway from today's 27-24 loss is this. Our quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, numero uno, was locked in. All day long, I said it. He is playing out of his mind. He is playing like an all-pro quarterback. He's completed a bunch of passes. I think he's going to have a ton of yards. He's throwing touchdowns. I even think the team kind of abandoned the run because he was so locked in. This is what makes it even worse. He was locked in all day. He even threw a great play-action pass, wide open Jalen Waddle that I thought probably won us the game, 24-20. But lo and behold, they come down and drive, and I say, no problem at all. Tua's locked in, and he's got a minute 59. Watch this. He's about to earn that pay. He's about to change that narrative. He went 3 and out, including a miserably overthrown ball to Jalen Waddle. He was locked in all day until the bright lights shined on him, and he faded away. And that right there is what I'm taking away, numero uno, number one, from this game. 305-567-0560. Going back to the phones. Abel, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Gameday and Trevor. Last week I really tried to call you guys, and I was like, you know what? I have been calling the last couple of weeks, and I didn't want to be just that caller that calls when bad things happen, right? So I called, and the lines were busy, and then I got on, and I couldn't really talk to you. So I was like, all right, it's all right. Then we're up 17-0 today, right?
They were in control.
Thinking, man, this team, we're getting the turnovers that we haven't been getting all off season. I mean, the offense is moving the ball. We weren't rushing, but you know what? We're up 17-0. Oh, let me go grab lunch really quick. I come home, and I will not forget this. The commentator who was a Gus Johnson wannabe guy. I don't know who the hell that guy was, the play-by-play guy.
I think his name was Nick Collins.
Saying, oh, my God. Well, he said when they made a catch, and it was like 17-0, and they made like a spectacular catch, McMillan or whatever the hell his name is, and he goes, that's the type of catch that's going to turn your season around.
Yeah, I started laughing.
I looked at my wife, and I was like, God, did you hear this guy? What a bum. Like, well, why would he say that? Dude, 17-0. Oh, yeah, good luck with that. And look at that. He was absolutely right. And you know what? He was absolutely right. Because we have perhaps the most inept coaching staff in the entire NFL. When you have a defensive coordinator, because this is Mike Daniel's third defensive coordinator, right? Because he hasn't figured it out yet, because the first year he came in, that guy didn't work out. So he goes and gets Big Fangio, and everybody say, well, the defense is going to get big. We're going to go get Big Fangio. The guy's a star. He's an NFL legend. All this nonsense. And he got out of here so quick because he's like, I don't want to be here because there's no structure, there's no discipline, and that's a show of all the stupid penalties that we have week in and week out. Every single week, you're always good for a couple of motion penalties, illegal man downfield, false start, holding, the same reciprocal, the same stupid penalties that do not get cleaned up. Because you know why they don't get cleaned up? Because you don't have a guy, you don't have a head coach that will hold their players accountable. You have a guy that's their buddy. You have a camp counselor. You have Mr. Mackey out there telling everybody, it's okay, buddy. Let me give you a hug. Don't worry. Let me kiss my quarterback. Let me do all this nonsense. Why? Because that's what he cares about. He comes from that tree, that hippie tree of Lord. Let me just peace and love. Kumbaya. No. We don't need that. And you know what? This problem starts from the top, from Chris Greer, and I will go even a step ahead with Tom Garfinkel. Because obviously he's not in Stephen Ross's ear enough telling him everything that is going wrong with his franchise. And he said after week 2 that he wasn't going to have no heads were going to roll until the team quit or unless players don't show. Wait till Sunday when it's going to be an absolute ghost town when the Dolphins come out on the field on Sunday. Because no fan here will put up with this type of nonsense. 240 whatever rushing yards with a team that didn't even have their starting running back. That is an all-time low moment for this once, and I mean once, proud franchise. And also one last thing. You had a caller earlier about 30 minutes ago, Ruben from California. That guy's definitely Tua's family member because he comes out here and said we need to stop talking bad about Tua. What do you mean, bro? Tua had the chance to win the game. And he chickened out. Like he's chickened out in every single opportunity he's ever had, except for the Dallas on Christmas Eve 2 years ago. Unfortunately, the guy doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. The play quality is not there. It's always an inopportune sack. It's always an overthrow. It's always an interception. And it's always something. And we need to stop making excuses for that.
I have nothing to add to that. 305-567-0560. Let's go to Anthony. Anthony is in Long Island, New York. Anthony, welcome in.
Hey, my friend, how are you? Appreciate all your hard work and your show. You guys work really hard and you do a great job. And it's really gives an avenue to vent. So, as you know, I spoke to you before. Last time I spoke to you in Hawaii. We're back on Long Island now. And honestly, I shut the game off. Beginning of third quarter, their first possession, when their first run from scrimmage was about 35 yards. I shut the game off.
No. It's a 53-yard run, by the way. A 53-yard run to
I
open up the second
apologize.
half.
Well, you know what it is? Guess what? I didn't get a chance for him to even complete the run. When I saw him running past the safeties in the secondary, I said, I can't watch this. I shut it off. Now, yeah, I did peek and cheat. I went back to listen to Joe and Jimmy on Sirius XM for a little bit. And then, of course, when I saw 24 to 20, I was like, hey, believe it or not, as horrible as we don't even know we were up 17-0, there's a chance to win this. Bottom line is this. We needed this to happen. We do. We need this to happen. We need to lose. We have to lose because if we continue to sporadically get a couple of victories here and there, it just appeases whomever. I'm going to Mr. Ross, I don't know. Once again, I'll get into that in a second. We need to lose. As hard as it is, 65 years old, been there, done that with the Jimmy Johnsons, with, of course, Don Shula, with Dave Wannstedt, with some hardcore, even though Wannstedt wasn't, he was tough, but he wasn't, he was a good, he was able to speak with the team. This guy, when I was in Brooklyn, I do construction inspections, and I'm about to walk up this ladder. I'm like, this is going to be our coach. This guy sounds like a hippie from, I don't know, the lost tapes of whatever. I don't know. He sounded so weird and so out of it. And I'm like, this guy is going to be our coach. It was never going to work.
Anthony,
he's got no shot.
Anthony, let me remind you, or let me ask you this. You know how many interviews for a head coach that Mike McDaniel went on?
One.
Exactly.
For us, just for this team. It's just, but it's hard, but it's a tough love. We need to continue to lose. And then, you know what? I heard Omar Kelly. I'm not really a fan, but Omar Kelly speaking with Joe Rose and said, well, Chris Greer is pretty much untouchable because he knows where the bodies are buried and this, that, the other. Who cares? I mean, it's not a racial thing here. Who cares what you look like and what color your skin is? You do the job and you do it the right way, or you don't last. I mean, look! We discovered another draft pick. What's his name? Oh, the kid from South Carolina.
Cam Smith.
We just let go. This you can't continue. And I heard, and good job by you. Before let's go to second. Are you busy? When you talk about Lars was too tough. There was another coach you spoke about that didn't work out. I'm sorry, it's escaping my brain. Anyway, I loved Flores. I'm sorry, but I did because that's what you need. And Dan Campbell, Oklahoma. Sorry, it's not going to work. So you got a guy that does kissy and wears his ankle, so you can see his ankle socks on the sideline and his $10,000 Rolex. Come on, stop.
I'll tell you this: when you have that tough mentality, that tough attitude, what do they always say? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. We're going to Homestead. 305-567-0560. Ed is with us right now. Ed, what you got?
Hey, my brother. Right now, I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm frustrated.
I'm with you.
And
I'm
if
scared
it were up
too.
to me, Daniel would get fired on the plane ride home. But I know that's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
But what I'm telling you, next week, October 12th, if Justin Herbert comes here and throws for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and outshines Tua, oh my God, are we going to go wild?
But would this be the most
'Cause that-
Dolphins intuitive thing to do? The one game he balls out this season will be against Justin Herbert and the Chargers?
No, but I'm just hoping Justin Herbert comes in here and has the game of his life, because then it's going to hit the fan. Because then they'll be proven wrong. Because then it'll be time to fire everybody. I'm just, I'm a Dolphins fan. I love the Dolphins, but I so want Justin Herbert to come in here next week and throw for 500 yards, because that would just be poetic justice.
It would prove a lot of things that maybe, just maybe, they should have taken Justin Herbert. One more phone call before we take a break. 305-567-0560. We have Daryl in Tampa. Daryl, what's on your mind?
How you doing, brother?
Woo! I'm a little fired up right now. I don't know about you.
Brother, I'm gonna say this to you. I'm a friend of Joe Rose. I call my name Daryl, but I go by my radio now. Doing radio back in the day for by IBM, standing for International Black Man. I'm the biggest Dolphin fan on the planet, brother.
Let's go.
I'm gonna break it down. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
I said, let's go. I like it.
Hey, man, listen. I'm gonna break it down to all you Dolphins fans. When y'all gonna wake up, man? Y'all get what y'all deserve. You had a coach. He didn't want Brian Flores. He didn't want Tua because he was garbage. He was done. A hip and a bone ankle in college. But Steve Rose wanted him. Just Grill wanted him. You ain't just have it in your face like you playing cards. You play the best hand you got and hope you win. No, we lost.
IBM, I got a question for you that you brought up Brian Flores. Remember back years ago when Tua Tagovailoa was the starting quarterback against the Raiders? What happened at the end of the game? What did Brian Flores do at the end of the game when it got close? What did he do with Tua Tagovailoa in that Raiders game?
I think he lost on his ass, did he? Bench, I don't know. I can't remember in a minute. What he did, brother?
He yanked him out and put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ain't that guy in the crunch? And guess what Ryan Fitzpatrick did? He won the game. Brian Flores
You're right.
Brian Flores knew it all
He
along.
did.
We should have known it in that Raiders game. Brian Flores said, nuh-uh.
You know that him and Chris Good got into it. He wanted Justin, and he said no. I ought to resign right then. I want to coach. I said, man, you want to listen to me. I'm the coach. You hired me to do my job. Let me do my job. Now, I know you're the boss. I know you got authority over me, but you hired me as a coach. Let me coach. I know what I'm doing. That's what we doing in Minnesota. We did bad with him when we had nothing.
Yep.
You a clown. I'm sorry. He's a clown. And then all you, somebody like you say, they Ruben, that like Tua, man, he must be his brother or somebody. I ain't gonna say the word I want to see, but damn, really? What open your eyes? He sucked, man. I've been tired of it for the longer. And you like guy that called before I came on. I hope Justin Herbert come here and get 400 goddamn yards.
IBM, I hear you on that. I will say this. There's an old saying in the South. You know, I'm a Southern guy, born and raised in New Orleans. Big Lynn's my mom. My mom always said, honey, it ain't where you start. It's where you finish. Tua, you had a good game, but you didn't finish. We don't pay you $51 million to not finish. So I'm frustrated like IBM right now.